Hi guys and welcome to a stream. We're here at Le Mans for the final round of Gr3 Season 16. As it's the final round, and since I've took over, final round is stock check, then the final race, 11 laps, round Le Mans, grid set by league total positionings, with subs at the back, or people who've only done a couple of races. We're just about to turn out, and as you can see from on screen, we've got Raiden there in the Scooby. We can just catch him doing a little spinny. We have Gr3 there, Walter in his boat, Hat in the pug, Paulie there in the vet, Hobo in his Supra, Nick in the R8, and we have Mew also guest racing in the big old pony, and Hans there in his Aston, and Hippie there in the pitch. We'll now change over to stock check. Should be interesting. So now, as I say, final round, race format, GR4, the GR3 race will be at 9 o'clock race time, 11 laps, fuel at ×3, tyres at ×3 as well, tyres available, racing soft and racing mediums. We've got a grand total of 10 races. Timmy, who we already know, is our overall champion. Just having the afternoon off. Evening Nick, evening Hansa. I shall enjoy the race, I hope you do too. Hippie, well done. Hello mate. Hello Mew. You never know, Mew. Stranger things have happened. And I don't mean stranger danger, I just mean stranger things have happened. So don't worry about stranger danger. Good. Woo 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 woo. He's not here. There's the head on down. Is it Rotisserie? Valentisier. No, I'm not coping with that. Riding getting close and personal with Hat. Guaranteed that Hat could get round that corner. So we've got about a minute to go and then we get the stock check race on the go. Final stock check race. If you have a look at the standings, Walter is our leader by 4 points from Hansa in second, Hippie in third, Tabay in fourth, Hobo in fifth, Paulie in sixth, Nick in seventh, Gr3 in eighth, Foxy, who seems to have disappeared yet again. Ready up. And we are go. If you're new to this stock check race, 1 lap, no holes barred, Smash your way to the victory. Or just smash the crap out of each other. Get the same result. So Hippie in prime punting position at the back with Gr3, Mew and Hansa. Raiden smack bang behind Hat. Raiden. Evening Mikey, how's it going mate? And they're off. Gr3, not sure what happened to Gr3 there. He's doing spinnies, Raiden going for a wide line. Hat taken, Raiden ending off flying. And TLM beating up on each other by the look of it. Hippie already up into 5th place. Mew there in 4th. Walter there in 3rd. Hansa is in 4th. Raiden. Very Herbie light lines there. Hippie. Got the boys at the front, so Walt stuck his nose in the front, but Paulie's using that slipstream to come flying past. They've got to remember slipstream. Walter goes straight on. Paulie hits the wall, then Nick is into the lead. Hippie there in 2nd, Hansa in 3rd, Paulie in 4th, Walter in 5th. Mew in 6th, with Hat just coming as Mew just slipping behind. Herbo there in 8th, Gr3 in 9th, Raiden right at the back. Hippie trying to get round it. Oh, Walter takes a bit of air. Hippie's managed to survive it. Paulie's pushing his way into 2nd. Hippie's holding it all together as they head down to Mulsanne. Walter's leading it out. Paulie and Hippie fighting for the slipstream. Hippie's managed to win him, but he's getting contact from Hansa. And Nick just cuts the corner on all of them. This is all going off, and we're only halfway around. So head up towards Indianapolis. Hansa's stuck on the right back of Walter's bumper there. Hat's coming past Hobo. 3 abreast they're going as head now. Nick's managed to hold on. Paulie's into it first, then to Indianapolis. Paulie's holding it. Hippie's still in 2nd. No Hobo in 2nd. Hippie's having to slow down through Arnage. Paulie's leading it out from Nick in 2nd. Walter there in 3rd place. Hippie in 4th. Hat in 5th. Hansa in 6th. Raiden up into 7th place. Mew in 8th. Hobo in 9th. Gr3 back in 10th place. Nick just taking the racing line. Walter just throwing it in there. But Hat's closing up on them now. They've gone through the Porsches. Paulie's still leading it out. Walter in 2nd, Nick in 3rd, Hippie in 4th, Hat in 5th, Raiden there in 6th. But I think Raiden's a fair bit back. He is. Hansa's dropped back. To Ford. Walter's pushed his nose in front. Hippie goes very wide. Walter comes up to the line. And Walter with a victory. Can Hippie hold on to 2nd? So there we go. Walter with a win. Paulie in 2nd. Hippie in 3rd. Nick in 4th. 5th. If only you've not got much chance of your little 4-seat compared to that tank. So now we just flip over to our main. And we just wait for the game to catch up. It's taking its time. If we just have a quick look at the results, and I can start getting the table sorted. Gr3 in 6th, Hansa in 7th, we have Raiden in 8th, Herbo in 9th, and a Mew in 10th. So I think we can safely say that Walter is our Stock Tech champ. Once everyone gets on grid, I'll get it all sorted. So we have Herbo on pole, Paulie in 2nd, Walter 3rd, you'll be down the back, so right, so Hat, Hippie, Gr3, Hansa. Oh, Nick, Gr3, Hansa. So, let me just check there. So we have Mew, Raiden, Hansa, Gr3, Nick, Hippie, Walter, Paulie, Herbo. Yeah. And now we'll get it on. So as I say, time of day, 9 o'clock at night. Rolling start. And I think everyone Herbo. So away we go. Herbo leads us away. Paulie there in 2nd. Walter 3rd. Hippie safely through. Nick. Hat already coming under pressure from Raiden. Mew there in 10th. Did I already see some? Through the Dunlops. Just trying to keep Tetrarouge now covered over and onto the first straight. Walter closed right up on Paulie there. Hippie in trouble. Oh, and Hippie picked up a penalty, which has allowed Nick to come past. And Crazy's flying along, and Hans has picked one up as well. Hatch managed to get some gap between him. Down to the first chicane. Walter with the inside line. Makes it through. Nice move by Walter. Keeps in the white lines. And onto the second half of the straight. And Walter picked one up. Allow Herbo back through. And Paulie. Walter's got to try and get back up to speed. He's going to be getting closed up by Nick Gr3. Gr3 looking to get some clean air. Into the second chicane. Herbo flying around him first. Walter's ended up going. Not sure whether there's a bit of contact, but we'll have a look. To the second chicane. Don't think it was anything major. Poor Hippie. So into Naj. Gr3 up into third place. So our grid at the moment, Herbo's lead it out. Paulie in second, Gr3 in third, Walter in fourth, Nick in fifth, Hippie in sixth, Rain in seventh after picking a penalty up, Hat in eighth, Hansa in ninth, Mew there in 10th place. Which is battle for third. Walter's coming back at Gr3 as they head down towards Indianapolis. Walter forcefully gets his way through Indianapolis and onto Naj. Paulie is starting to close up, so Walter's got his nose back into third place. Gr3's close right behind. Hippie's got his nose in front of Nick, I think, as they head up to the Porsches. So when the 4C should be better at carrying more speed through the corners. And into the kart S's. Herbo now. Paulie fully behind him now. Well, not fully behind him. Walter's still having problems with Gr3 into Ford. To Simon. And across the line, start lap 2. So start lap 2, so Herbo leading out from Paulie in second, Walter in third, Gr3 in fourth, Hippie in fifth, Nick in sixth, Hat, Raiden in seventh, Hat in eighth, Hansa in ninth, Mew there in 10th place. Herbo going through Dunlops, not the cleanest. Walter's got his nose back in front. Pressure and Paulie. Into Tetrarouge. I think everyone's got round this cleanly. And onto the back straight. In train formation. Paulie already looking to pull out on Herbo. In fact, Paulie gone very wide. And has suffered because of it. So Walter and Gr3 flew past Herbo into the first chicane. Side by side, Gr3 and Walter. Gr3 going to stick out in front. American versus Japanese power. Onto the second half of the straight now. Nick's got back in front of Hippie. Walter's making the move on Gr3 now, side by side they go. Is there any speed difference? Both about the same. They're heading to the second chicane. Hobo darts through. Gonna end up going very wide. Gr3 just got the back out, and now he's going to come under pressure from Nick because his speed's reduced. Paulie making the move back on Hobo to take second. Walter leading it out. That is an arse, isn't it? No, Mulsanne. I do apologise. So they're halfway through lap 2. Walter leading it, Paulie in second, Hobo in third, Nick in fifth, Gr3 in fifth, Hippie in a respectable sixth, riding there in seventh, Hat in eighth, being closed up now by Hansa in ninth, Mew there in 10th. Battle for second between Hobo and Paulie. And then we got a battle for fourth between Nick and Gr3. Oh, and Gr3 picked up a penalty. That's going to scupper He's a bit, so that's going to allow Hippie to get by. And he clears it. And Hippie's just up alongside. And Paulie's putting a bit of space between him and Hobo. Head up into the Porsches, and Walter still leading it out. Through the Porsches and into the kart S's. Hobo going wide, that's going to allow Nick to come through. So down to Ford. Oh, Nick picked a penalty up to Ford. And reconvent. Walter there. Now setting the fastest lap with Paulie in second, Hobo in third, Nick in fourth, Hippie in fifth, Gr3 in sixth, and Raider slowly closing up on the mid-7th, Hat in 8th, Hansa in 9th, Mew there in 10th place. Still riding pretty well. You go, Mew. But all this action going on behind has allowed Walter to pull up at nearly a 2-second gap. Hippie's picked up a penalty, so that's going to allow Gr3 through. Could also Owen Raiden pick one up as well. That's going to allow Hat to close back up on Raiden. But Walter leading out, Paulie in second, Nick now in third place through Tetra Rouge and onto the straight. Gr3 just flies straight past Nick there to take third into the first chicane. And that's me on lap 3. Let's see what tyres everybody's on. So we've got Nick on the softs, Hippie on the softs, Rain on softs, and everyone else on the medium. I'm sorry. So Walter building up on that lead. Raiden into the second chicane. Raiden now up into 5th place. Hippie down in 6th. Nick there in 4th. Team Lean Machine are in full force today, and Raiden's already popped in with the fastest lap. Paulie with an extension on the back of his bumper in the shape of Gr3. So head down to Mulsanne. Evening, Gad. Gr3 now into 2nd place. Craden then in 4th. So Nick Just going to slot into that slipstream. Hippie the same. Crazy now. Looking to close that gap on Walter. The golf curve. And then into Indianapolis. Oh, Walter's picked up a penalty. That's going to go in Crazy's favour. Then into an Arge. Nick's got back in front of Raiden. Can we see where that happened? I think he just outpowered him. So Walter now with his 2.5, but his nearly 3-second gap dropped down into 1.5 to the Porsche curves. And then into the kart curves. Hippie flinging that little 4C around. Hat there in 7th place. With Hansa. Just Herbo there in 9th. And I've cursed him with a penalty. It looks like Mew may have had a little off ski. But Walter's got that lead back up to 1.8, but Crazy now set the fastest lap. And we got Raiden now. The podium in grasp. To head up to Dunlop. Through Dunlop and under the bridge. Oh, Raiden picked up that penalty again. Nick and Hippie still battling away. Ooh, a little bit of contact. As they head through Tetra Rouge. Raiden using every square inch of that track. Walter still holding that 1.5 second gap over Crazy in second, who's gapped out poorly. And Raiden now coming under increasing pressure from Nick. The first part of the straight. Nick's pulling up alongside. Hippie just slotting in. And Nick's made his way past into the first chicane. He's managed to get stopped. Through they go. Raiden using every bit of every inch of tarmac he can get. And all the while Hat is closing up onto the second half of the straight. Crazy very slowly, and Raiden making the move back on Nick there. Head down to the second chicane with the inside line, so Raiden back up into 4th. You've got to remember Raiden's coming back from having a long time playing on iRacing, I believe. Part of Team Lean Machine. Have a quick look. Crazy. He's closing as they go through Mulsanne. A little bit erratic by Walter, and that's allowed Crazy to close right up. Poorly. Now got Raiden getting even closer. Nick's had to drop back, and now it's coming under pressure from Hippie. Hat just cruising along the 7th. Hands are there. Hands are in 8th. Herbo in 9th, Hip and Mew in 10th, into Indianapolis. Crazy has pulled them back in. To an Arge. Paulie has got that Scooby mounting him doggy style. Almost. Raiden having a good search around that prison pocket. Comes out alongside. So they head up to the Porsche curve. He's just got his nose in front, but he's keeping lots of space. Pops his nose back in front, into the kart curves. Hippie got his nose back in front of Nick, possibly too far back for me to see. Just using that 4C to get around the corners quickly. Head down to Ford. Paulie just concentrating on the road ahead. Tighter line out by Raiden. Alongside Paul as they head over the start-finish line, start lap 5. Paulie's just got the more pull in that vet. Heading up the hill to Dunlop. And there we got these 4 cars, and if you just look, oh, Gr3's picked up a penalty. I hope he gets. I hope he tries to serve that before he gets onto the home straight. And he is. Head serving it before he gets onto. Comes out of Tetraroos. Unlucky that was, and now we have this train of Paulie, Raiden, Hippie, and Nick. Hat 2 seconds back down the low. Hippie and Nick side by side. And now Raiden comes out and side by side with Paulie. Almost like they're going on Noah's Ark, 2 by 2. But Raiden's Scooby just hasn't got the power on the straight. But Nick's certainly got the pull on Raiden. And Nick, nice move by Nick to get up into 4th place. Everyone's got the pull on them in the slipstream, but as soon as they pop out of it, they go nowhere. And now Raiden's going to make that move on Nick as they head down to the 2nd chicane, I would imagine. Hippie trying to keep in that slipstream. Volta had a slight respite. To the 2nd chicane. Raiden hasn't been able to get close enough. Going into it, he has closed right up on Nick. Out of the chicane they go. Now head on down to Mulsanne. Paulie having a brilliant ride there. Gr3 got to do all that work again. Nick as they head down to Mulsanne, having a look, but the vet's just got the power. Through Mulsanne they go, and then onto the golf curve. Hippie just sitting back. Remember, Hippie's on the soft tyres as well. And then Nick's looking to make the move. Slots back in before Raiden can take that spot. Raiden goes very wide. Tight line by Nick into Indianapolis. Paulie just having that little bit too much speed side by side with Nick as they head to Enage. Paulie just drops in. So we have a look. Gr3's closing back up on Volta. Question is, will people be pitting this lap on the next one? Up into the Porsche curve. Kart curves, or shall I just call it the banker corners that will enable the complex. Out of those, and now we get to see final corner, just coming up on the pit lane now. Walter staying out, so is Gr3. So Nick, in fact they're all stopping out. So they're all going for a 6 and 5 lappers through Ford. And with all my watching of the, never saw when Nick overtook him. So now on lap 6, we have Walter leading it out. Gr3 in second, Nick in third, Raiden in fourth, Paulie in fifth, Hippie in sixth, Hat in seventh, Hansa in eighth, Herbo in ninth, Mew there in 10th. And Crazy must have had another little penalty because he's dropped right back. But Nick's got some clear air between him and Raiden. Paulie there in 5th with Hippie in 6th, Hat in 7th. I just need to have a quick drink. And Hippie's looks to make the move on Paulie. He's going to have the inside line for the chicane. And does. Nicely done by Hippie there. Heading on to the second part of the straight. Walter still leaning out with Crazy in second. Nick in third, Raiden in fourth, but Raiden now is caught up to Nick with Hippie in fifth. Paulie in sixth, Hat in seventh, Hansa in eighth, Herbo there in ninth, and Mew there in 10th place. Oh, so you see, using the slipstream, gets the inside line for the chicane. But Nick, go, no, my place, and Raiden go, no, mine. So Nick's managed out as they head into Mulsanne. You have to remember that Raiden did start in 9th place. And is being reacquainted with the GT Sport penalty system. So Walter making full use of that big fuel tank. He heads into Indianapolis. Crazy, nearly on and fumes. So is Nick. Hippie with that 4C. Plenty of fuel. Raiden burning here. Paulie. And now Paulie coming under pressure from Hat. He's been racing fuel savvy, as I think Hansa has as well. So they head up towards the push curves. Remember, these two are both going to be on soft tyres when they come out the pits. And the Hippie there into 4th place. Managed to get his nose in front of Raiden. Unless he picked up another, and I think possibly from that penalty. So Walter and Crazy both into the pits. I would imagine this is going to be a pit train. No, I tell a lie. Hat stayed out. Everyone else is in the pits. Hat getting to get another lap. Clear track in front of him. Everyone's got into their pit boxes now as Hat comes up to Tetraroos. Walter's done it. Walter's come out first. Greasy's done it in second. Hippie in 4th. Nick in 5th. Raiden in 6th. Hansa there in 7th. Paulie's the biggest loser from that. It's very unfortunate. So Walter's lead now. He's got 3.5 seconds on Crazy. He's got a 3-second lead on Hippie. With Nick there in 5th place. Raiden in 6th. Hansa in 7th. Paulie in 8th. Herbert there in 9th. Mew just filling up. So this is time for Hat to try and make hay. Just see Walter far back in the distance. He's just coming into the 2nd chicane. Oh, that might cost him a few seconds, the penalty. And it did. Gr3 came through it cleanly. Oh, and Raiden didn't, so he's picked up a penalty. It's going to allow Nick to come flying past. So both of them have mugged Hippie on that first half of the straight. Oh no, sorry, Hippie picked up a penalty. Hat. So Walter now with a 2.5 second lead through the 2nd chicane onto the final part of the straight down to Mulsanne. Crazy in there. Nick in 4th, Raiden there in 5th, and Hippie there in 6th place. Hansa there in 7th, Paulie in 8th, Hobo in 9th, Mew there in 10th place. Hat just keeping the 32. Be interesting to see where it comes out. But Nick and Raiden still battling away. Let's head to the golf curve. Almost looks like Raiden's pushing Nick along there. They've gapped out Hippie. Hippie's stuck in a bit of limbo for the moment. Ending into Indianapolis. Tight line by Nick. But came out wide. Into an arch. Nothing separating. There we got Hat coming up into the pit lane. There's Walter just coming up to the Porsche curves. Into the pit lane now. To the kart curves he goes. He's lost a lot of time on that lap. Crease just settled in. Hat still hasn't reached the pit box. Still no sign of him. Walter into Ford as Hat gets into the pit box. So Walter through the last chicane and onto the start laps. Start lap 7 with Crazy in 2nd. Nick in 3rd, Raiden in 4th, Hippie in 5th, Hansa in 6th, sorry, Hansa in 7th. That's come out in 3rd place, in front of Nick. If we just have a look at fuel levels, pretty equal. Walter now as he heads up to Tetra Rouge. So Creasy's there with the fastest lap so far. Nicely through there by Walter as he goes onto the straight. 1.7 seconds in front of Creasy. The Viper's just got a little bit more oomph. They head into the first chicane. Should be okay that time, Walter. Just managed to keep it. So on lap 8, Walter's leading it out, 1.9 second lead over Creasy in 2nd. Hat there in 3rd place. Nick in 4th. Hippie in 5th. Raiden in 6th. Hansa there in 7th. Paulie in 8th. Hobo in 9th. And Mew there in 10th place. So we just come back to Walter as he goes through the second chicane. Nicely done there, now heading on down to Mulsanne. Keeping a nice gap between him and Nick. Let's try and have a look at something. I thought Nick started on mediums. Looks like I could be wrong. Really nothing separating them. Right, Nick it through the increasing now, fully closing up on them now. Just a second behind Walter as they come out of an arch. Hat there, holding firm in third place. Nick in fourth. Hansa is already up into fifth place. You go, Hansa. Playing the long game. Hippie, sixth place still. Rain in seventh. I imagine he's spitting expletives at the penalty system of the game. Paulie there in 8th, Hobo in 9th, Mew in 10th. Cruising now just a second behind Walter. Going through the latter part of the complex. Just tighter line there by Crazy. Heading down to the Ford chicane. And the final chicane and over the finish line to start lap 9 of 11. Oh, Walter picked up a penalty. That's allowed Creasy to go through. So Creasy's leading now on lap 9, with fastest lap as well. Walter in second. Hat there in third place. Nick in fourth. Hansa there in fifth. Hippie in sixth. Raiden in seventh. Paulie in 8th. Herbo there in 9th. And Mew in 10th. So obviously Walter picked a penalty up going through the chicanes, and that's cost him the lead. Head up to Tetra Rouge. Creasy now into the lead. Has Walter got any answer? I imagine he has from his driving so far this season. Certainly shown a massive improvement with his little bit of time away. You can just see that Viper eking out a little bit more speed. A couple of tenths of a second. But Walt certainly seems to get the drive on him through that chicane. And has just out of slipstream zone. And closing though. Just as the Viper speeds back up again. Hat clear air between him and Nick. But Hansa is closing in. Hippie there in 6th. Paulie now up into 7th. Raiden in 8th. Hansa having a look at Nick. And has got him. Heads into the chicane. Hansa now up into 4th place. His eyes now set on Hat in front of him in 3rd. Walter head down to Mulsanne. Less than a second behind Creasy. Through Mulsanne they go. Creasy certainly seemed to get the better drive there. As we watch Hansa come in, with Nick right behind him. Hippie in 6th. Bit of a no man's land. And in fact Paulie is starting to close up on him. Right in there in 8th, with Herbo and Mew in 9th and 10th. Hands unfortunately can't, as they're heading to engine laps, can't go full out speed. Because Nick wants that 4th place back. Oh, Gr3 now nearly got a 2-second gap over Walter in 2nd. I think we can safely say that Gr3 has gone. Oh, a little bit of wall contact. Took a few tenths of a second off a second. Pat there in 3rd, being able to pull away. Hans has seen off Nick's latest drive. Through the complex they go. Hippie. Maybe he's even hoping Paulie can catch him and then they can make some effort. Right, just dropped back off now. The Herbo there in 9th. Mew in 10th. And a little bit of wall contact by Gr3. Just giving Walter some hope. Got it back down to 1.3 seconds as they start the penultimate lap. Just under 8 minutes of racing now. Hat in 3rd. And our Hans has seen Nick off. He is starting to close up on Hat. Nick in 5th, Hippie in 6th, Paulie in 7th, Raiden there in 8th, Herbo 9th, Mew there in 10th. Through Tetraroos by Hat there, and onto the straight. We're gonna need to go and have a lie down. Wake me up in 7 minutes so I can see the finale. Hat. Poor Pug. Certainly seems to be holding his own against that Aston there. Into the chicane he goes. Walter obviously picked up another penalty, so they creased just to get away. Hans are there in 4th place. Nick in 5th. Paulie in 6th, and Paulie's managed to get his way past Hippie and just left Hippie behind. Raiden there in 8th. Herbo in 9th. Mew in 10th. So a little blip by Walter. Hans are now 1.2 seconds behind Hat as they head down to Mulsanne. And also keep an eye on Walter. Yeah, Walter's driving angry. It's costing him. It's through Mulsanne onto the golf curve. Hansa. They're just on the verge of being the 2nd of Hat now. It's getting close. Heading to Indianapolis. Through an arch. A lap and a half to go really. Just that one corner, Hat's pulled out 0.2 of a second. And Hans put some power down on that Aston, just eats it back up to the Porsche curve at the start of the complex. This is when Hat should be able to eke it a little bit more out. has pulled up another 2 tenths. So Gr3 leading it out first, and on his final lap, and still setting fastest laps. Walter there in second, Hat across the line in third, 1.2 seconds in front of Hansa. Nick in fifth, Paulie in sixth. Hippie having a real problem with that in seventh. Ryan's gone into the pits. Herbo there in ninth. Only 4 to 5 seconds behind the leaders. Mew there in 10th. Crazy just flying away with it now. Hat into Tetraroos, 1.3 second lead. Walter's just too far up the road, but Hansa on this first part of the straight, looking to close that gap, and Nick's just dropping back into the first chicane they go. Nicely through there. Push that lead back out to 1.3. And to the second chicane they go. Through they go. Hans has certainly got the pull there. Head down to Mulsanne. He's back in with under a second. Through Mulsanne. He's kept it there. Let's head towards Indianapolis. This could get very interesting for the last part of this lap. 0.8, just on the cusp of the slipstream. Should see that lead just suddenly start to drop very, very quickly into Indianapolis. Brilliant driving here by Hansa. Up to Anage. Round they go. Still round the 1 second. This is coming up to the part where the Pug should be a little slightly better car. We ride with Hat, heading to the Porsche curve. And into the complex. As you can see, Hat just pulling it back out. Gr3 now heading down to the Ford chicane. Just keep it nice and safe, Gr3. Through the final corner and across the line for the win. Well done, Gr3. Walter across the line in second. With Hat in third. Hansa in fourth. Nick across the line in fifth. We have Paulie in sixth. Hippie in seventh. Herbo in 8th. Raiden in 9th. And Mew in 10th. Cruzy got the fastest lap. So there we go, guys. Another season done. Got interested at the end though, Hansa. Gibram Racing. That was the sprint race, hippie. So there we go, guys. Season 16 done. As I say. Kebab! Or is he? What did I say the points was? 75 points for first. Yep. By pretty close. Not good. No, Mew, they didn't. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great week. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.